So thank you. So Venkata, you can see the red dot, and then we'll start now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our next T365 Champs Power Platform Meetup at Hyderabad chapter. So today we are going to uh, have the agenda who we are and how can you connect us, and we have the news and updates and the upcoming events. And today is the session about the pre-sales and customer engagement for Dynamics 365 by Goloknath Mishra, and followed by Q&A. So let me give you a brief introduction about T365 Champs community and a brief team timeline about it. So in 2018, our community leads just realized the need of local community in Southeast Asia, and this particular community started with an small idea, while a few of our leads are discussing in particular place. And after that one in 2019, 10 leads teamed up and started the first chapter in Singapore, and the number of leads grew and Charms went global with an expansion in more countries. Coming to the 2020, members and leads started growing in multiple geographies. So and in 2021 we have around close approximately 5.6k. It is 6k approximately now LinkedIn followers, and Kaisala membership also we do have 850 plus members, active members. And the future, let a lot of new initiatives are coming up. So you can also connect us with us on the social media, either through LinkedIn, Twitter, or through Kaizala. And we recently has spinned up an website exclusively for our D365 champs, and you can enroll there and you can post your queries, and you can get all the different knowledge related to D365 uh, CRM or Power Platform related, all the other things. And if you would like to speak uh, at D365 Champs Power Platform, then you can simply submit your submission by either filling up this form, or you can scan this URL. Our organizing committee will reach to you with all the details. So Vivek, would you start here the quick updates?
Yes, Venkata. Thank you. So with
Okay.
that, new updates you all must be knowing about. There is a recent Ignite that has happened on the 14th and 15th July. Okay. In that, there are so many new capabilities that has been displayed or kind of spoken about what kind of initiatives Microsoft is taking and what kind of new features are coming up. Okay. Then a much awaited feature of multi-table lookups is available in the preview mode. You might see some people have put their blogs as well, how we can go and do the multi-lookup multi-table lookups. And it's not that simple, but yes, that is now available at least for the preview. So you can go and try that out. On-premise gateway is now available for if you want to do any kind of code operations. So, or if you want to get it connected with the on-premise data, so that is there. And in the connectors, there are almost 7 new connectors that has been uploaded by the Microsoft or the different stakeholders over there. So you can always go and see what these new 7 connectors are. Uh, Regarding the updates, there are 2 sessions that has been uploaded, and you can see the sessions for the May and June that were presented, so that you can always go and check on the YouTube channel. We are back with the Power Priya 2020 one. and quiz are there published, I think, and then you can go and get it over there. So we are coming up with some new methodology in there, and there are some gifts as well. So we are planning to have some kind of benefits added to this particular quiz, and we'll keep you updated on that. So next slide, Venkatam. So thank you, Microsoft, for giving us this platform and supporting us for these events and all. As well as thank you to the sponsor, Dynamicity, for sponsoring all these events and the required infrastructure and all. So thank you to our sponsors. Uh, Next slide, Venkatam. Okay. So we'll jump to the session by Goloknath. Thank you, Goloknath, for presenting the for the initiation and showing. We welcome you on this particular session. So over to you, Goloknath.
Yeah, hi. Okay. Let me present my screen. You can see my screen. It's blank.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So let me start sharing my screen. You can see now, right? Hello.
Yes, Golok. Yes, Golok.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, D365 champs, and thanks Vivek, and thanks Venkata for organizing the event. And so I'll not take much time. Let's start. What is our agenda for today? We are going to discuss on pre-sales and customer engagement for Dynamics 365. So what are the things we are going to cover in this? What is digital transformation? Why digital transformation? And what is Microsoft Digital Feedback Loop? Why Dynamics 365, RFX, common terminology, and all these things we are going to cover. So mostly this is helpful for the users or the business users who want their digital transformation. Secondly, it will be helpful for the developers, those who are interested to move to the pre-sale stage. Pre-sales, what are the things, how to do the pre-sales and all these things, that will be helpful for them also. And third, for the developers, we are going to cover some of the accelerators, Dynamics 365 accelerators. So let's move on to that. Here is all about something about me. Basically, I am working with Direct Asia Insurance and working as a platform specialist. So basically, my hashtag is GM Dynamics 365, and I'm MCT blogger, YouTuber, and whatever you can see on the screens. I'm not going to cover all these things. So basically, I'm conducting UG events in Singapore Power Platform UG group and Orissa Power Platform. Along with that, I'm also one of the community lead in D365 champs. You can reach out to me on my blogs, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So let's start. What is digital transformation? So in this screen, you can see current scenario before digital transformation, how the system looks like. Before transformation, you can see everything is messy. You can see user A, user B. There are different users are there who belongs to different departments, but they want to get some information. It may be physically they are going through the documents or they are going through any of the way, but it is not a properly organized way. So they have to go via process and everything is messed up. Okay, so to channelize this, how digital transformation help them? You can see after digital transformation, how it is a single place, everything will be gathered and they can get via some application and some processes. No need to rely on the documents or anything like this. So this is what is all about digital transformation. So this is one of the customer who is looking for digital transformation. And what is the expectation of the customer? Customer's expectation is they don't want to perform any kind of physical activities. They don't want to perform much of the redundant activities. So they want to perform, let's say user is performing some activity on top, you can see they just want to monitor the things. So this is how their expectation, and the answer to them is Dynamics 365. How Dynamics 365 is helping them, we will discuss on that. So why digital transformation actually? What are the factors affecting digital transformations? So before digital transformations, it is the behavior of the human tendency or the organization is something like they are mostly reactive. So they should be proactive. That is one of the segment of identification why they need digital transformation. From reactive to be proactive, from silos view to connected view, and from reporting activity to delivering outcomes. So these are the main reason why any agency proceed for the digital transformation. And what is the factor behind the digital transformation? Because to do the digital transformation, they should have the vision and strategy. They should have the culture. They should have unique potential as well, along with that capabilities. Because I don't have the required budget, then I cannot proceed with certain kind of transformation I'm looking for. I can do up to some extent, but I cannot go end to end digital transformation. So all these are the factors affecting my digital transformation way. So how exactly Microsoft's answer to the journey? If you see, Microsoft is providing two types of journey. One is data journey and second is the application journey. So data journey and application journey both are converging. And what is the four pillars of Microsoft's four pillar is engage customers, optimize operations, empower employees, and transform products. So you can see data journey starts from data migration, data modernization, advanced analytics, data intelligence, AI, and ML, and everything goes through these four pillars. Okay, same application migration, application journey starts from app migration, app modernization, smart apps, intelligent app, cloud native applications. So how exactly Microsoft is answering based on these four pillars? If you see, it's kind of a funnel structure. Okay, core of this is the data, and data resides on Azure platform. So on top of Azure, there are Power Platform is there, and on top of Power Platform, you can see your productivity tools, Office 365 and Dynamics 365. And then on top of that, there are app source ISV applications. Like another, any company can provide their apps in the app source. They can put their app in the app source, and anybody can subscribe, can purchase, or they can release as a free also. It's their wish. So this is how about the app source is playing the role. So we are going to cover some of the accelerators which is from app source actually as part of our demo. So next is, what is Dynamics 365 ecosystem? Dynamics 365 ecosystem is basically we few of them I think almost knows: sales, service, field service, marketing, project operation, then finance and operations, human resource, commerce. These are the part of things, and along with that, on top on the platform is based on our Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate, and definitely on top of Dataverse. So all these are there. It's a Dynamics 365 ecosystem so far. Dynamics 365, nothing but it is the fusion of CRM and ERP, which is providing end-to-end capability of transformation. So this is the landscape at a glance. What is the landscape? It is categorized under three categories. One is transactional, second is analytical, and third is observational. So as part of transactional, you can see people can perform different kind of transactions, right? The daily to day operation or business process flow, how to approve, I will pass the documents. And we saw the first slide, right? They want to do some digital transformations. So it can be categorized under transactional as their processes involved as a transactional flow. Then second is analytical. Okay, I'm doing some kind of transactions, but I want to analyze my data. I want to see how is the performance, what is the return of investment on this digital transformation process. And then last but not the least, observational. Observational is like we want to D365 guides, or we have remote assists, which will help us to help with certain kind of field related informations. So that is one of the segment. So this is all about Dynamics 365 landscape at a glance. So Microsoft business applications are four types of benefits it provides. First is it's modern, it's intelligent, it's unified, and it's adaptable. So these are the four benefits, and definitely, as we discussed last time, it's a in last slide, it is providing us the unified client. So if you see on the productivity, it's showing productive, intelligence, and delightful, adaptable, and all these things. Because I can go ahead with access in my mobile, I can access in my iPad, I can access in my laptop, I can access in anywhere. Okay, so this is how the benefits. And let's come to the CRM process flow, because as in this topic, we are going to cover mostly related to CE, how exactly it is helping. And definitely we are covering Dynamics 365 as part of digital transformation. But the thing is that mostly we are putting emphasis on the customer engagement part. So as part of customer engagement, we know CRM is the core of any application, not only Microsoft Dynamics. You go to any CRM, you can see all these three. Sorry, marketing, sales, and service. Starts from marketing and it's goes towards the service. Lead generation, campaigns, website, content, recommendation, and all these things it will pass through. So typical process is like marketing, sales, service. And field service, project service is from Dynamics 365 point of view. It is extra advantage. What is this? You can see marketing generate leads for the organization by physical or digital marketings. Okay, we are not going to go in details of each section. It will be again, it's a vast topic. So marketing will help us to generate leads for the organization. And second is sales. Sales actually what sales does actually, it nurtures the lead and convert to customer. After sales processes service. After sales, customer service team will provide service or support to the customer. Actually, mostly service covers the offsite service processes. If I want to provide on-site service, definitely I have to proceed toward the field service. So you can see this depends on the type of service. If I want to provide the service at the customer side, I should choose the field service. And project service, again, who are doing the project operation point of view, project services, they are delivering mostly to the projects and working around the project life cycle. They should choose this project service. So as we saw digital transformation, again, on top of data, we have Azure. Why I presented this slide? Because everything is on top of Azure, and digital transformation, mostly two things are the defending factors of the digital transformation. First is capex and second is opex. Okay, we'll explain what exactly that in the next slide. So cloud shared responsibility model, it helps us to reduce my capex. Okay, normally companies are mostly they are fear about the capex because it's a one-time investment. It can be a huge chunk of money they have to invest for a certain kind of activity. So this Azure is the cloud model which helps to reduce the capex. So now you can see everything is going on the cloud. So again, Dynamics 365 is also on the cloud. So there are different cloud shared models. Just this one I just put for your information. What are the types of clouds we have? It can be on-premise. As usual, we know everyone the monolithic way we are following the on-premise. But if you go to cloud or microservices way, it's keep on evolving the things. So on-premise is the previous way. Now we are moving towards the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a services, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay, so what are the things is we manage? What are the cloud provider will manage? You can see there are different identification means differentiation. What are the items? Who is going to manage in this slide? So what is capex and opex? So capex is nothing but the upfront expenditure of the money, because I want to buy some infrastructure. I want to invest something. It is my capex investment. Okay. Capex actually it has the depreciation as well, but opex is like uh, I want to invest some amount, but it's deducted within a period of time. Like capex, if we go to cloud model, what it will do, it will help us to reduce the capex investment, because I no need to buy any infrastructure. I no need to invest anywhere for the security, because if I go for infrastructure means I have to take care of its availability. I have to take care of its security. I have to take care of its all other associated means server maintenances. All these things are there, and resources, everything I have to manage. But here in Azure, what happened? Pay as you go. If I want certain amount of space or certain features I want, okay, I have this much amount, I have this much of money, I can get this much of thing. So this is the benefit. It will help to reduce the capex and OPEX as well, because obviously operational cost will be reduced by the time, because everything is managed by Microsoft, means it will help us to reduce CapEx as well as OPEX as well. Because operational, I no need to take care of the server maintenance, backup, security, all these things. I no need to go for these expenses. So next I'm coming to, this is how about the basic of digital transformation, how Microsoft is answering to the digital transformation that we have done so far. And we understand how, what is the mentality, how we are moving towards the cloud and why cloud, because definitely everybody wants to return of investment. So to get the return of investment, they want to reduce the capex, they want to reduce the opex. If this is satisfying by our cloud, our Dynamics 365 is providing all the required information, all the required infrastructure, then why not Dynamics 365? So next I'm coming to the pre-sale stage. So this is what we understand what is digital transformation. Now in pre-sales, if we heard actually there is one term RFX. RFX is next refers to, it can be information, it can be quotation, it can be proposal. These are the basic core processes. Some people tell RFT, request for tender or something like this. So basically we come across these three kind of documentations, three kind of requirement from the customer. If you go to tender or anywhere, you can see request for information, request for quotation, and request for proposal. So request for information, mostly it is for educates. Okay. And request for quotation is just to qualify. They want to see what is the cost I need to incur on this kind of tender or some digital transformation. If I want to do, how much I have to pay. They want to gauge the amount, means accordingly they can go ahead with their management and get the budget. So this is RFQ is all about. RFI, I want to know some information so that I can propose to my management to get some fund for the digital transformation or whatever it may be. It may be IT manager, it may be anything who is the who want to do digital transformation. So they prefer RFI, RFQ, and RFP as per the requirement. That's why you can see RFI educates, RFI responses explore how a vendor might solve a problem or fill a need. RFQ is responses provide a cost of meeting as specific need. And in next slide, actually, we are going to cover in details. Mostly RFP is the more detailed way, and RFP is the process which is having more detailed information we have to pass to the customer. Okay, so you can see in this slide, it will give clear picture. What is RFI? RFI's purpose is when you are looking for information or you are not sure what solution might solve your problem, because I don't know technically what is going to address my challenge. I have X challenge. I want to resolve this issue. Okay, so I can go ahead and release one RFI, and few of the vendors may apply RFI. They can pass the informations. And again, what is the ask? General questions designed to educate and inform. Means they want to know some information. That's why they release the RFI. And the style is, it is mostly it's a casual asking for the help kind of thing. So advantage, this is fast and help inform next steps to meet the business needs. It is just a helping hand for the digital transformation to the business. Okay, so then next is request for quotation. What exactly request for quotation? Quotation is like, what is the purpose of this? When you know exactly what you want and why, because I know I want Azure server. I know I have this much of capability. Let's say, for example, I'll give one example. I know I have 10 TB of data, and annually it is increasing, let's say 2 GB or 3 GB, whatever it may be. Annually it is increasing is 3 GB, and how it will be projected for 5-year duration, and what is the server sizing I need to do, and along with that what feature I want to leverage, because let's say I want to do the approval process, my sales process or my service process. I have, let's say I have already some product. I sold the product, but I want to capture the customer's feedback and customers, all those informations. Let's say it can be inquiry, it can be inquiry, it can be feedback, it can be anything like this. So on that basis of the requirement, how it will fit specific product. Let's say I can position Dynamics 365. Anybody can propose any other any other product also. So this is how is all about request for quotation. I knows what I need, means I am the business. I'm aware what I need, but I want to check the costing part, because definitely, as I mentioned, every company is worried about the capex and opex. So they will check both of these things, how I can reduce that. Okay. So this is how is all about request for quotation, and that is the significance of request for quotation as a structured and prescriptive information. And advantage is it's remove the distractions and allows buyer to focus on a price. As I mentioned, it's focused on the price. Then the third is request for proposal. This is the mostly used process. Those who are dedicated and decided, yes, we are going for digital transformation, and that is the reason they have a prescribed way. It is a detailed way, and they provide specific all the informations, what is the format, what need to provided, and how you will provide everything they will provide you. Okay, it is a mostly formal and direct. Specific details, questions and services, products and vendor businesses, everything they will ask actually. Okay, you have to provide all the detailed information so that they will compare the vendors actually along with their capabilities and their pricing. Okay, this is mostly for comparison, and this is the detailed process. Okay, so these are the basic RFX, and there are a couple of terminologies we use. As I mentioned, this is going to helpful for those who want to know what exactly pre-sales point of view, what are the terminology used and why it is used, and how to do the things. Okay, so first is acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means what are the factors affected in my acceptance criteria, that they will clearly define on the tender document. Okay, accepted factors used to determine whether a product or service meet the required standard, frequency used in the procurement, and all these things. So next is agreement. Agreement is, as the name suggests, we all know somehow agreement is a legally binding process. So we will do buyer seller agreement will be there. Who owns the RFP processes? Okay. Then BAFO. We normally tell that be a BAFO. So what exactly BAFO? Some people may confuse what is BAFO based on final offer. Actually, this one. This is BAFO comes into the picture whenever there is negotiation goes on between the buyer and seller. So I'm negotiating some amount. I provided my some costing. They are not agree on this because they got somewhere another bidding price. It's somewhere less, or it's comparable, or they want to negotiate on that. So in that point of view, yes, you can come down up to which is the latest offer, means last minimum offer you can provide, that we tell as a WAPO. Okay, BRD, business requirement document, we all knows BRD. After the BRD signing, we will proceed with the things. Then change management, we use the terminology change management also. Some companies or some Dynamics 365, definitely we don't have the change management process. It's kind of management process to manage the things actually. Let's say I am using, let's say, Salesforce CRM. I want to move to the Dynamics 365. So change management process will help them for the transition. Let's say my users are used to with Salesforce UI, and change management team's responsibility is they will train them, they will inculcate them the use of Dynamics 365, what is the benefit over the Salesforce and all these things, and how the system new system transition will help them. And definitely to hands-on on the UI, how it looks like. Not exactly hands-on, rather they will acquainted with the UI. Hands-on they will do once we'll give them the UAT and all these things. Okay, so this is how the change management teams work is all about. Okay, they will mostly they will work with the business teams, and where the senior management they play with, normally they play with the senior management and the business users change management process. Then closing date. This one actually every tender there is a closing date. Okay, that we have to keep in mind, because definitely that is the decision factor. Because after that closing date, definitely you cannot submit the tender document. There may be certain scenarios you have contacts or something. It's again another way, but the closing date is the final date. Before that you have to submit. So that's why this is the important thing. Then competitive bidding. Competitive bidding normally takes place in the government scenarios. Okay, it is mostly transparent. You will know whoever submit the tender at last. You will know, okay, these companies have submitted the tender document. Okay, you can know the competitors also. So this is all about competitive bidding. The debarment. Debarment means any company who is not able to, means in a government process, they have been debarred for certain kind of reason. They cannot submit for any kind of tender for any reason. It may be they are not able to fulfill the requirement. They may be financial, maybe country's financial, any impose of the laws or something like this. So that is the way to identify debarment. Then due diligence means, yes, whatever things I want to, the company wants or the business want, I can provide. I will do the due diligence checks also. What are the risks involved on that? So that is due diligence. And again, executive summary, it is the first criteria when we respond to a tender, because I have to provide my companies who are the senior management and how the things are there, how the management structure. This is executive summary. So then next is letter of intent. Letter of intent is not LOI we tell. LOI is a formal letter to a buyer written by a vendor to indicate their plan to prepare a proposal or decline to bid. So whenever we submit the tender, we submit with the LOI. Next is pricing table. Pricing table will give, definitely this is most important, because as I mentioned, RFP, they are going to compare the pricing, whatever pricing I am providing. Let's say some pricing you can provide with licensing, without licensing, and all these informations. So again, pricing table plays an important role. And the proposal, we all know you have to respond to the document, that is the proposal document. And then a RASI matrix. This is also one of the important way. This is used to identify, means internally we will discuss internally this, it is kind of project management criteria, means I will identify who is responsible for that what and who is accountable, which is it is properly consulted and informed that okay, this is your activity, this is your activity, this is your activity, and all these things. So RASI matrix is the important criteria to in project management. Before delivery of the project, yes, all roles has been defined of each person who is going to do what. Okay. Then response, tender response, definitely we provide the tender response document, the offer received from the of a vendor in response to a issued RFP. Okay. RFA, request for application. Then RFP cover letter, they will provide normally cover letter one template, how you will attach a cover letter and how the things will be happen. So you have to follow the same template and you have to fill the details and just attach first or at the first of the document, a tender response document. Okay. Then evaluation criteria, normally the company provide evaluation criteria. It again, it varies. So for example, total criteria is 100%. Some provide like this. 100% is the total criteria definition. Let's say they will provide quality bid of 40% weightage. They will provide like 100. They differentiate in a different way. 40% of the quality of the product, quality of the solutioning. Then 20% is the pricing or 30% pricing. 40, 20, 60%. Then another 40% it will come like they want to put the resource capabilities, it will be 20%. So all these weightage should sum up to the 100%. Okay. So that is also decision factor to identify whether I can do or cannot do. Why this is plays important role, because this is the first criteria to identify okay whether I will go for this tender or not. Because if they are asking past experience is 40%. Okay, let's say it's any healthcare industry. They are asking past experience is 40% criteria. You never implemented for healthcare, and healthcare has a lot of compliances. Definitely, it's no point of applying on that because you cannot qualify on that. You don't have past experience of healthcare, and it has a lot of compliances. And at last, you will go in LD and all these things. It is a big chunk of amount you have to pay because you are applying for a tender, means you have to deposit also some amount and all these things are also there. So this is also one of the decision factor, and definitely pre-sales guy also has to work with the sales guy parallelly to think whether they will go for this or not going for this. I have the couple, I'll have the list of questions which will help us to identify. Then RFX, as we already discussed, ROI, return of investment, definitely anybody is investing some amount means they want the return of investment. Security questionnaire, again, they can ask different questions. Then spend analysis, it's all about the companies who is the business. They want to do the spend analysis. what they are going to get on that, and what is the benefit of that. Okay, so on that basis, they will see what is their return of investment. Okay, so FRD, we all knows, I think 99% everyone we knows FRD, TDD. This is quite everyone knows. So then LD, this is important factor also. Applying for the tender, because we have to see what is the LD, because what is LD? Let's say I agreed that I'm going to deliver the project within certain period of time, and so on. So condition, if the conditions are not met, or you are not able to satisfy the customer or their requirement, then they can charge LD as per the agreement. Okay, so it will be defined. It could have defined in the document that this is some percentage or 5%, 0.0. No, it won't be 5%. It's 1%, 2%, something like this. So how the sequence of LD, it goes on different trends. So this is also one of the factors you have to think how the LD is chargeable. Then next is SOW, that we all know, statement of work, and MSA, master service agreement. So SOW is a child document to the master service agreement. Okay, so this is high level some of the keywords used for the when you are going for any kind of pre-sales activities and any kind of thing. You are applying any kind of tender, then these things you should know what are the things are there, what are the terminologies normally used, and what are the decision factors. You can see that these are the questions you should first think before applying a tender. First is conditions of participations, accreditation, and quality standards. Whether, because whenever any tender, let's say it is a 5 million budget. So 5 million budget, they must have certain category of each country. There are different category of organizations, means vendors, who can apply for certain tenders as per the country's finance department or whatever things. They categorize different agencies, means different companies. Okay, so on that basis, where you are falling exactly, let's say 5 million means you should have the capability of 10 million. Means you should able to withstand the loss, or you understand, right, how the things is. It's all about, it's a categorization based on each country. So that is all about the condition of participation, means financial capabilities you have to check. That is the first important criteria. If you are not meeting that, just simply ignore, no need to apply for the tender. Then next is relevant licenses. Relevant licenses means it's not like ISO, SCMMI, ISI. Rather, these licenses corresponds to the country's licenses for businesses. Okay, you have this license, you can perform this kind of business or not. You have this financial capability or not. These kind of licenses. I'm telling about relevant licenses. Then accreditation and quality standards. Yes, those are ISO, CMMI, ISI. It depends what exactly they are demanding. Okay. So these are the things is the first criteria to think whether I will submit for the tender or not. What is the evaluation criteria? Next, as I mentioned, evaluation criteria 100%. You have to think they categorized 40, 20, 20, 20 like this. You have to think where exactly you are best fit or not. If you are not best fit, don't go for the tender submission. Then third is pricing schedule. Pricing schedule means some company normally in tender document they will provide actually what are the pricing schedule. Means definitely company is not going to release 100% amount once you do MVP. We tell that I have not mentioned here. That is also one terminology, MVP, most viable product. So MVP is not the 100% product, but it is something you can workable product. Okay, let's say I have done my MVP and I want 100% release. No, it cannot be. Okay, so this is how they define and what stage they will release how much amount of money. For example, they will mention you release the functional documents, we will release 10% or 15% amount. Okay, then you release you complete the UAT stage, we will release this. You complete the go live, we will release this. PGP, we will release this. So this is how the breakage of the amount released. So if that is not fitting as per your requirement, as per your budget also, because you are applying for a tender, means definitely you are investing also some amount of money in terms of resources, in terms of all the means deposit and all these things are there involved. So you have to think whether you can do or not, the pricing schedule is matching or not. Okay, so that is also important thing. Then fourth one is the scope of work, obviously, because scope means you should know Dynamics 365. Let's say if I'm positioning, if anybody is asking me, I need to attach one device, a transformer, motor. Definitely, I cannot propose Dynamics 365, right? I should know what is the scope of my work. Okay, that is also one of the important factor. IT transformation, not IT transformation. Any of the tender, you have to think that scope of the work. Then next is what is your implementation process, means again that is also implementation process means it can be a fixed price, it can be T&M. So it is a time and material, means you have to think in this way how exactly their processes, you have to study all the document properly, then you can proceed with the implementation. Okay, then next is training. Definitely after implementation you have to provide certain kind of training. There are different kind of trainings you can provide. You can training based on the week, based on train the trainer, or anything you can plan as per your defined process. So what kind of training you are providing, that is also important factor. Not you provide, rather some tender they clearly mention we want this kind of training or these trainings, admin training, user training, and such the trainings. So that also you have to check. Okay, then next, again, this is also important factor because as I mentioned, these are all important factors. Next is references. As I mentioned, it is asking a reference check, reference if you have past experience that having weightage of 30%. Okay, here you should think whether I can give any reference or not, because if I have done past implementation, definitely I can provide my references or case studies. If I have not done, definitely I cannot provide any references. That is one of the factor also. Then last but not the least, who are the competitors? That one you won't know at the very stage. You will know once the tender submission completed. Some scenarios you will know if you attend the tender briefing session. After that, salespeople can tell you that these are the competitors. Okay, so these are the factors affect your submission. As a pre-sales guy, you have to think in all the way, because whether you are able to deliver or not, and most important work is involved, your most important work is scope of work. You can see what is the scope of work. Fourth question is the most important question. You should define whether you can do or not. This is a sample. Actually you can see this is a tender document sample. I have not attached the tender document. You can see these are mentioned: definition, services to be performed, application maintenance support, and emergency services. All this you can see what we discussed so far: charges, warranty, supply responsibility, this is responsibility. Then you can see force majeure. Force majeure is nothing but whenever any natural calamity happen, how we are going to handle, or how the payment schedule will be, and how who is going to liable for what. That is force majeure. Okay, let's say today any country, any political issue happens. So in that case, that is also force majeure. And a natural calamity, that is also force majeure. So in that scenario, how the condition will work, so that is mentioned in this force majeure. Okay, LD we discussed already. So this is also one of the sample security deposit. You have, as I mentioned, you have to do the security deposit also. Point number 37 you can see. So so next I am coming. So far we discussed, we understand pre-sales point of view also, we understand digital transformation, how the digital transformation can help, and how Microsoft is responding to digital transformation. That one we saw. And as I mentioned, I want to inform some of the core functionality of the pre-sales or sales process, how it is happening. So that we also discussed. Now I'm coming to the next. Which app, let's say if I'm going to position Dynamics 365. Okay, so to position Dynamics 365, which app I should select and what is the criteria? And actually this one I collected from Twitter. You can see it's mentioned. It's a Chris Hottingford's prepare this diagram. It's really, I like this one. That's why I kept it here. You can reach out to him. It is his Twitter handle. Okay, which app should I select? You can see, are my app users internal? Okay, if internal user is using mostly app, no need to go for Power Apps portal. Okay, you can see N is Power Apps portal, no. If internal user, yes. If I have internal user, yes, let's proceed to the see next condition. Premium connectivity for this app or not? If no, you can should my app be embedded in Microsoft Teams? If yes, you can see Power Apps for Teams. Or if am I using premium connectivity? Yes. Is any of the data in Dataverse? Yes. Then you can see, is this app a LOB or highly complex solution? Yes. Do your solution requirement involve sales, customer service, field service, marketing functionality? Yes. Then here comes Dynamics 365 app. This is what we discussed, right? Dynamics 365 app. Let's say these of the functionalities it involved: sales, service, field service, marketing functionality. Let's go to Dynamics 365. Or else Microsoft has given, it's like from small to large scale, you can position at any point of time. Okay, any kind of business you can fit it. Let's say it's a small organization, you can develop a Power Apps. You can develop let's say anybody want to automate, you can just go from Power Automate and automate the process. And if you want to position, it's a small medium SMA, small and medium scale industry, so you can position them in the Business Central. And subject to the condition, they want to cover their supply chain processes and finance and all these. Out of this it should best fit, then you can position Business Central. And they want, if let's say they want to cover only the marketing, you can position Dynamics 365 marketing. If let's say sales process involved, you can position Dynamics 365 sales service. You have to think the capability of the product. On that basis you can position the product. Okay, this is one of the diagram which help us to identify. But again, the capability of the product, you have to go, you have to search, you have to think what is the product capability and whether it can deliver or not. Okay, let's say there is one requirement. I remember. Yep.
Quick time check.
Sorry.
We have almost 15 minutes now.
Okay.
We started 5 minutes late, so we have 13 minutes left now.
Sure. So I'll complete within maximum 5 to 10 minutes. Is it okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yep. So this is how we will identify. Then again, if you go for the implementation, this one, I think we all are aware how exactly we will implement. Microsoft SEO steps we follow: diagnosis, analysis, design, and what are the deliverables you can see in each phase. What are the processes offering? Then what are the deliverables in each phase? Project initiation phase, what you have to provide, requirement specification, what you have to provide, design, what you have to provide, implementation. All these phases, what are the documents you have to provide? These are the there. Then I'm coming to the ISB. As we'll see some of the demo actually, how exactly ISBs are helping, because sometimes some case of some kind of scenario, we need to position some of the different kind of industry. I want to position, let's say, media and entertainment. I want to position for the education industry. I want to position non-profit industry. Let's say I want to transfer my sales service marketing. It will take some time for me, right? I have to prepare the demo and all these things. Microsoft easily providing the ISB. I can just go and access this ISB applications. So how exactly ISB application? Let me quickly pull my screen. You can see here Dynamics 365 Education Accelerator. After you install, you will get actually this, how to install. You can get this Education Accelerator from App Source. You can see this is the App Source Education Accelerator. Okay, so Higher Education Accelerator, you just continue in this accelerator. You can see Microsoft Dynamics already in accelerator, they have provided everything. Okay, you can see higher education, they have provided the courses, they have provided, you can go ahead and add the courses. You can see different courses are there. So I'm not going to enter one by one because we have limited of time, but I can show you here. You can see different kind of courses are there. Courses are there. You can see different programs also here, because courses is something which is like different syllabuses, but programs, it can be any certification. Let's say Microsoft certification I'm doing. This can be under any programs. So program requirement, extracurricular activities, any extracurricular activities, I can put it here. Then areas of interests, areas of studies. These one I have not done, to be honest. I have not done anything. Everything is within that ISB applications. Internship, if anybody is doing any internship, these are the internship information you can see. Okay, what are the internships informations are there, who is the business partner, you can see on this each kind of activities. So then next is scholarship. We all know that any educational institution, there are scholarships and grants also. You can see all the scholarship and grants and student resources. If any resources we have, yes, you can pass them. Okay. So this is from Education Accelerator. Let me move to another accelerator also. You can see this one is we all know self-service marketing. It is the core process. Anyway, this is going to deprecate in future. This custom is not going to be there. So let's go and see. Let's say we have okay, where is this? Okay, IATI hub. Let's say this is one of the part of our. What is IATI Hub? IATI Hub, it is a standard of who do non-profit, right? Non-profit activities. So IATI is a standard non-profit organization which help to, you can see, International Aid Transparency Initiative. Okay, so IATI is that. So any non-profit organization can register in IATI. So Microsoft is providing IATI Hub. In that you can see below IATI sections are there: document link, code list, vocabularies, file generation, IATI. This is linking, but they can go ahead with this is for non-profit organization. Actually, you can see individuals are there, donors, households. We can capture the donor informations here. Again, this one I have not done. Microsoft has given everything. So you can see a donor, all this information, place management, you can capture here, details you can add here, then scheduling you can provide here, then household information, yes, you can provide here. Let's say you are doing some kind of donation to certain households, certain locality, you can capture all those. Okay, then different organizations, then donor benefit recipients who receive the benefits, any donor committee, whatever the transactions, because normally we provide awards also, any non-profit organization, awards, disbursements, and then delivery framework. What are the programs? And time to time they run different kind of programs, right? So that those also you can capture here. Then projects, if they run different kind of projects, flood disaster assessment project or something like this, it is captured here, you can see. So budgets also you can capture different results. Then this is related to non-profit. Then let's go to the media. So this is one of the accelerator also, media. So in media, you can see how they are capturing the fans, guests, then loyalty programs. All these, this is also part of the media accelerator. Then actually it is not only one app. There are a number of model driven apps are there. You can install it from the app source. You can see media product sales. If anybody is selling any kind of media product sales, you can see media events, seasons, opportunities, quote orders, then all the loyalty programs, everything you can see here. Okay, these are the media accelerators. Then you can see one more awards. Awards also one of the model driven app. It will provide all the award related. You can see Dynamics 365 non-profit accelerator. So this is also part of this. Vivek, I think we are on time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We are on time.
So there are a lot of accelerator there actually. I don't want to cover everything, but the thing is that I can say you can directly go to this. Okay, let me pull this whole lot. Just quickly, I'll show a couple of information, Vivek, and we'll close it up. Okay, so these are the accelerator industry accelerators are there. Healthcare, now it moved to healthcare cloud. You won't get it's free of cost. So all these are accelerator available. You can explore. And Dynamics 365 offering we knows and app source. Anyways, as I mentioned, I got it from app source. This accelerators. You can go not only this Microsoft accelerator, you can see individual ISV accelerator also there. And this is whenever you go for any pre-sales engagement or something or presentation with the customer, you can see customer references of different products. You can go to this customers.microsoft.com. You can get customer references from here. And this is again licensing ad. This is you have to keep handy with you all the time. And then industry accelerator we discussed. You can get all these accelerator in the. You can just Google industry accelerator. You can see all the accelerators. So That's all from demo point of view, because I cannot go one by one to show everything. But anyways, this is how is all about industry accelerators. And that's all from my end. Any queries? Now over to you, Vivek. Any queries you can.
Thank you, Goloknath, for sharing your experience and expertise on the pre-sales. This is one of the untouched points which
Yeah.
are taken into the discussions or into any of the meetups, like what are the different stages, what kind of things needs to be taken care while it comes to pre-sales and all. So thank you very much for your knowledge sharing. And also, there are certain of the apps or the new modular apps which you explained. So I think that will be surely helpful for others so that they can go and take it over here. So guys, if you have any queries, please you can unmute yourself and ask the questions over here. And feel free to ask anything if you have any queries.
So Golaknath, hi, Roma here. Not a
Yeah.
question, but I would like
Yep.
to ask, what would you suggest to the rest of the people? Should they get involved in RFP or not? And if yes, at what stage in their career they should get involved?
Okay, so again, RFP or RFI or RFQ, it's all about depends on the company organization, how they are releasing, but it's all about the pre-sale stage engagement. If I understand, you want to know whether they can engage pre-sales or not. Yes, they can engage on the pre-sales. So they will come across different RFPs, RFI, RFQ, all these things time to time, because these things will come via salespeople. Salespeople will bring actually if any RFPs or anything is coming to the market or not. So they can do if they knows product end to end. I can suggest in this. This is the first important thing because they should know what product is capable of deliver. Because I know a couple of the scenarios. Salespeople work with certain kind of people and they will tell Dynamics 365 can deliver this, but when you reach at the real point of time, developer will face issue. They cannot complete this. They will say, oh, this is not possible in Dynamics 365. Reach out to Microsoft. Microsoft will say, okay, you do this. They need to do a lot of customizations. Let's say, for example, I can give you one example, partner management system. If you Google partner management system, it's altogether a different process. If you want to go complete partner management system, you can capture accounts, contacts, but end-to-end partner management system, it's yet not implemented with Dynamics 365. Rather, Microsoft is suggesting one of the partner. So you leverage those, the partner, and you can implement on top of Dynamics 365. If you agree, yes, I can deliver partner management system with all the partner management system criteria, then you have to develop end-to-end customization, which already partner has developed. So this is the challenge. Before proceeding towards pre-sales, you should have the end-to-end product knowledge. This is what I will suggest.
Thank you.
Yep. Welcome.
Yeah, and just to add what Goloknath said, Roma, so RFP is nothing that it is in our hand. Generally, certain type of companies like say government organizations or limited organizations, they never go and award the projects like it happens with the SMB or a normal other companies like private limited companies. So they have a process. They have to go through these RFP, RFI, RFQs, and when it comes to an RFP, at 90% of the times they have finalized with the product and the features. They have done their assessment internally or through some other consulting services. Like there are certain companies who does these internal assessments and then they suggest which product they shall go, and then they go and raise the RFP. So once the RFP is raised, means there is uh, they have identified either a product or the kind of features they need, right? And it has been identified that this can be done with this particular technology or the solutions. Like if RFP comes up in the market, anyone can go and submit their responses to that. And RFP is again, it's a huge thing. Like it takes certain times it takes a month for to build up the documentations and all other things. So it totally depends on how the RFP is, whether we can go and deliver the solutions certain times RFP is also bound by money and all. Okay,
Yeah.
like whether you should submit a bond for so much of amount, and there are certain other criteria as well, like your company should have this much of revenue over the last 3 years and certain other things. So whether to go with the RFP or not. So these are certain of the points that needs to be taken care or to be thought through when we go and submit the RFPs.
Yeah, because actually, as I mentioned, right, in one slide, Roma, you can see, I think slide number 7 or 8, I mentioned they have to understand first business financial capability, because on that basis they can proceed. Even salespeople will not come to pre-sales guy as long as they will not satisfy the requirement of their financial capability. So then and there they will stop. This is decision factors. You can see now. Let me present the screen.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the decision factors. Actually, you can see first what Vivek told, first criteria, condition of participation, accreditation and quality standards, financial capability. Company should have that capability to apply for the RFP. Then, oh, sorry, it's and okay. Then they will go for the relevant licenses. Each country has their financial statutory licenses. You are satisfying that or not? Then, if everything satisfies, then the salespeople will come to you. Okay, they will clear this one, participation, accreditation, quality standard. Then evaluation criteria, they will also know some kind of evaluation criteria also, because they have already worked. They know we have capability in healthcare, we have in media and whatever things. They can see, okay, evaluation criteria also matching. Then pricing schedule, they will see how much I am spending, how I can get. Then these three will be filtered by sales guy. Then scope of work, here your work will start, because you need to see whether it is fitting or not, and all these things they will come to you. Means as a pre-sales guy, they will come to you.
Yeah, and one more interesting thing to know when it comes to an RFP and RFIs, it is not always win over the money or the cost,
Yeah.
but it totally goes on to the organization, the team strength, their capabilities, and
Yes.
certain point of time it goes and asks for the customer references. Even if
Yep.
you are at the lowest side of the cost, but if you don't have the customer references, you might not get that kind of projects or the contracts.
Yeah.
So yes, it totally depends on how the RFP is raised. So when we have to spend a time on an RFP, it takes a whole lot of time in documenting. First, we should go and identify these decision factors, whether we fulfill all of these factors or not. If we are missing the primary asks, like customer references are required, and we are not having that references, it is likely that we are not going to get that particular deal. This majorly happens with the financial institutions or say certain of the government when they want that you should have expertise, you should have such projects delivered earlier.
Yeah. Yes. So mostly evaluation criteria, they will mention what is the criteria. On that basis, they will mention we need 30% for past experience. We need 40% good team, or then some prefer one is team member. One criteria they put past experience. One criteria, whatever I faced so far. One criteria they put what is the solution design, because some are concerned about solution design. And yeah, as Vivek mentioned also, the product already there in mind. Let's say as one of the engagement, they have two products in their mind, Salesforce and Dynamics 365. So now they are coming to the market to check which is less price and matching the business requirement or not. If that shoots, then they will go for that. So this is how it's all about. Yeah, I don't think there is much more questions so far.
Yeah, Golak, another question.
Yep.
So you specified about ISVs and all, right?
Yep.
So in case if few of the members, the partners, if they
Mm,
wanted to use ISVs
mm,
and the customer impressed with the ISV and
mm,
customer on the top of it, if they wanted to give certain enhancements to the ISVs, what
mm.
are the things that you will suggest?
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So in that point of view, yes, you can, once they are satisfied with that, because now few ISBs are free of cost. You can leverage those ISB and you can build on top of customization. Again, you know, 99, I will say 100% project, they will not satisfy with the ISB. Definitely when it goes to implementation stage, it will be customization. Okay. So in that point of view, that point of time, you can use this as a best solution. And on top of that, you can customize as per the business requirement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Welcome.
I just wish to add, I think this is an answer to Homa's query, right? So when one person should enter pre-sales, right? And I will particularly want to highlight about Power Platform. So Power Platform as a technology is just 3 years or so, 3 to 4 years, right, in the industry. Now many people were consultants who add a tag nowadays in the pre-sales consultant and stuff like that. So if you consider the experiences I have with those kinds of consultants, you need to have certain degree of maturity of doing this in the past with something other related on a Microsoft cloud technology, or you have done those kinds of things and being part of the process. Then only it makes sense to call yourself. You can put, I mean, if you look at social media today, people will put tons of tags around, right? From pre-sales to solution architecture to everything. We should all understand, like in a 4-year-old technology, how much architecture somebody would have done and compared to somebody who has been doing it for 15 years, 20 years. And a lot of things that Power Platform does is an extension of your XRM concepts, which Dynamics used to do, right? I would still say that those core things which people have built on, are now coming to a technical perspective, right? On premise, we have seen a lot of the background. And in one of my podcasts with Devajit, we talked deep dive about that, right? How do we know that stuff? Because we were in an on-premise world at one stage. So that will always be there. So this all things also create value in terms of pre-sales. I've seen people who don't know anything behind the layers of the Power Platform and are saying, okay, we can put a bot here, we can put this here, we can put that kind of a thing there. But practically, you need to have seniority involved a bit. Experience will always count. And that's where I will say the minimum stages, I think, for a technical person to be involved with pre-sales is somebody like a tech lead, right? Needs to be involved, or an architect, ideally. And then if you talk about what is the seniority level of a person who is functional in nature, has to be a functional architect or a project manager kind of person who has gone through iterations of this, right? And if you don't have Power Platform experience as much, minimum Dynamics or some Microsoft Cloud experience. So those are the real inputs that will help you in any kind of RFP, RFI process. And the clients are also understanding that maturity is clearly understood, right, by the clients also at this stage. But just putting, if I am a pre-sales consultant, in the last 2 years I came on Power Platform, and today I'm a pre-sales consultant also. Well, client will still prefer, which I have seen in my experiences, somebody who has had a Microsoft experience of some sort, might be SharePoint, might be Dynamics, on-premise, or some Azure experience, and then came into this model for last few years. And the level of depth of the scenarios and business you will talk will be totally different as well, right? Goloknath, Vivek, Venkata, you can add to that, but I wanted to share that there are certain stages which are not going to change no matter Power Platform is so new or not, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, because experience is always comes to the picture, because as I told, right, we already faced, I know, I'm not going to name the client, but I know scenario happened. We told the thing is that it is possible. When it goes to the client told no, it is not possible. Then developers, they cried like anything. It's not able to deliver. Then client come hard, then project lost. Means, anyways, there are some thing happen. So yeah, experience is always plays a role actually to understand how the things are happening. But the keep on exploring yourself. That's what I can say. I think there is one raised hand, Avinash Badgujar.
Yeah, so he has raised a question like, what are the preferred certifications if a new pre-sales professionals are coming into the industry? What should they learn more?
Professional certification point of view, see, nowadays there are a lot of certifications are there, but to be honest, I don't have any pre-sale certification so far. It all about comes from the experience. And if you ask some standards, like as I mentioned, Microsoft SEO steps, you should know. You should know partners. What is the SEO steps? Also, there are different documents and all these things also there. You should know all those things. And along with that, licensing guide. This is kind of book. You have to study the book also, understand how a licensing guide and all these things. And there are some of the Microsoft driven activities, like Microsoft First Track team is there. Definitely, if anything required, you can reach out to Microsoft First Track team also. So there are a lot of helping hands from Microsoft as well, even from non-government, especially non-profit organizations, right? They have pricing model is different, something is different. So in this case, you should reach out to the Microsoft guys also, because they can give better pricing. Because when it comes to a tender point of view, pricing plays an important role, right? In that point of view, that is also one of the factor, even though it is hidden, but that is also one of the factors.
Yeah, just to add, Goloknath, so Avinash, with the pre-sales, it's again comes with the experience
Yeah.
on the particular solution.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are looking for these certifications, so first thing you need to be very much clear on the functionalities, features of the Dynamics. So you can actually go and do sales and service certifications, which are there for functional consultants, then Power Platform, uh, a basics kind of certifications are there which you can look. And yes, but there are no direct certifications for licensing and all. But as a pre-sales person, you should be knowing about the licensing, the impacts on designing the solution, because a pre-sales consultant is a bit should be known about the architecture of the dynamics, as well as what to be proposed at what stage of requirement, or if there are any certain of the queries. So certifications, you should at least know the basic features of the sales service, or there is a field service certification for this one. There is a PSA certificates. Certifications are there, but it is majorly on the application side rather into the technical side of the certifications.
I think Power Platform Solution Architect also includes some portion. Yeah,
Yes,
because when I was studying, I saw in Microsoft Learn, right? It is there. Some portions it is there,
yes.
involvement, but it's not like end-to-end flow. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, that's all from my I presented one screen. You can see sample of tender document, how it looks like. There are different parts, guidelines, evaluation, all these things. You will get some kind of document, but I cannot open the document because again, I cannot show the document, but this is how it looks like. Okay, that's all from my end. Thank you, Dynamics 365 champs, and thanks Vivek, thanks Venkata, and thanks everyone. Over to you.
Yeah. So thank you, Goloknath, for your time and sharing us the inputs and explaining more about how pre-sales happens, what are the key factors to be addressed during pre-sales stage. Uh, Thank you for presenting this once again. Thank you all champs for joining and uh, raising a queries. Thank you, Roma and Avinash. So if you have any further queries, you can always go and put it to the champs. There is a different mediums, like we have a Kazala, we have the blogs as well. So you can please put the queries over there, and we'll be happy to help you out. So anyone wants to say anything before I stop the recording? Venkata?
Yeah, it was a nice session, Golaknath. Really important things that you have touched. So in my previous session on PL600, I have touched the pre-sales of it, and now as a continuation, you have made the session more as a continuity and more give more thoughts on it. So thanks for coming up with a great content and helping the community by throwing out the knowledge that you are aware of it, which you have acquired with your experiences. I will definitely say that this is not at all readily available, which is of a rare a kind of topic. So thanks, Goloknath, for bringing us to us.
Thank you.
I'll just stop the recording.
Sure.